In our rapidly changing world, where stress and complexity often dominate, the ancient philosophy of Stoicism is regaining its relevance, offering profound insights for personal resilience and growth. One of Stoicism's most challenging yet empowering teachings involves the discernment needed to evaluate our relationships. Stoicism suggests that not all social ties are beneficial. Some may actually hinder our quest for virtue and self-mastery. This philosophy doesn't push us toward isolation but steers us towards more genuine, supportive interactions that enhance our inner peace and personal development. Today, we'll explore 11 signs that it might be time to reevaluate certain relationships. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's begin our journey into understanding when and why it may be necessary to let go. Number 1. If you are being manipulated or controlled, it's important to look at the Stoic view on autonomy, as emphasized by Epictetus, a key philosopher in this field. He offers a powerful piece of advice: no one is free who is not master of himself. This phrase highlights the essence of personal freedom and self-governance, crucial for well-being and growth in any relationship. Signs of manipulation and control indicate a loss of autonomy. When our decisions, thoughts, and actions are shaped by someone else, it seriously infringes on our personal freedom. This opposes Stoic values that emphasize self-mastery and independence. Recognizing signs of manipulation or control is vital. These signs may include constant criticism, low self-esteem, isolation from friends and family, or decisions imposed without considering others' opinions. Such behaviors erode self-confidence and trap the individual in emotional and psychological dependence. Acknowledging a relationship that limits personal autonomy is the first step toward liberation. Epictetus stresses that true freedom comes from being the master of oneself. This means taking charge of one's life, setting healthy boundaries, and, if necessary, ending relationships that restrict essential freedom. Ending a manipulative relationship can be daunting and painful, but it is an act of courage and a crucial step in reclaiming control over one's life. This journey of liberation involves self-discovery, self-affirmation, and reaffirmation of one's worth and independence. In summary, recognizing and distancing ourselves from relationships that manipulate or control us shows profound self-respect. Following Epictetus's advice, if a relationship does more harm than good, we should strive to be masters of our own lives. Building relationships that respect our autonomy allows us to thrive and realize our full potential. Number 2. If there is a lack of mutual respect, addressing this issue is crucial, especially in line with Stoic principles that value dignity and self-control. Relationships without mutual respect conflict with these values and can lead to misunderstanding, devaluation, and ongoing tension. Respect is the foundation of healthy relationships. It involves appreciating differences, listening, understanding the other person's perspective, and practicing empathy and consideration. Without respect, communication breaks down, conflicts escalate, and harmony disintegrates. Relationships lacking mutual respect often show disdain, destructive criticism, disregard for the other's needs and feelings, and even abusive behavior. These attitudes erode the relationship and deeply affect the self-esteem and emotional well-being of those involved. Stoic teachings emphasize the importance of dignity and self-control, treating others with the same consideration and respect we want for ourselves. In situations where mutual respect is missing, it is important to evaluate the relationship and make necessary changes to restore a healthy balance. This may involve open dialogue, setting clear boundaries, and sometimes distancing oneself, especially if disrespect is a recurring and irreparable issue. Recognizing the lack of respect in a relationship and taking steps to correct it or distance oneself from it is vital for preserving one's dignity and mental health. Ultimately, choosing relationships based on mutual respect aligns with a path of self-worth and personal growth, in accordance with Stoic ideals of dignity and self-control. Number 3. When relationships hinder your personal growth, Seneca left us with a powerful message: if a friendship can come to an end, It was never truly genuine. This quote encourages us to reflect on the true nature of friendship and family love. Ideally, they should support and guide us in our pursuit of wisdom and virtue. However, it's important to recognize that some relationships may lead us away from this path of growth. When emotional bonds start pulling us off course, it's a moment for deep reflection. We need to question and reevaluate these connections, a process that isn't easy. It requires introspection and the courage to make tough decisions. Sometimes it becomes necessary to reconsider old bonds, examine family dynamics, or distance ourselves from friendships that hinder rather than help our growth. This is a journey of self-discovery and, above all, self-appreciation. The core understanding is that personal growth is closely tied to the people we choose to accompany us on our journey. Healthy and constructive relationships encourage us to be better, present positive challenges, and most importantly, respect our essence and life goals. When faced with relationships that impede our progress, Seneca's wisdom becomes crucial. We should seek genuine connections that endure the test of time and adversity. These relationships support us in our pursuit of wisdom and, above all, walk alongside us towards virtue. It's a journey filled with discoveries, challenges, and sometimes necessary renewals. Number 4, when the relationship does more harm than good, it's crucial to focus on inner well-being. Toxic relationships, which drain energy, cause constant emotional discomfort, and create a negative environment, hinder personal growth and development. It's important to recognize that ongoing tension, unresolved conflicts, mutual disrespect, and a lack of emotional support are clear signs of a harmful relationship. These dynamics impede personal flourishing and can negatively affect mental and physical health. Toxicity in a relationship often shows through constant criticism, lack of empathy, manipulation, or emotional abuse. Such situations create a harmful cycle of negativity, trapping the individual and hindering progress in their personal or professional life. Pursuing inner well-being requires an environment that fosters positivity, mutual support, respect, and promotes mental and emotional health. When a relationship obstructs these aspects, it's a clear sign that changes are necessary. Choosing to distance oneself from a toxic relationship is an act of self-care and self-respect. While this decision may be difficult and bring feelings of guilt or fear, it is a crucial step in making room for healthy and constructive relationships that truly contribute to growth and well-being. Disengaging from a harmful relationship is also a moment for reflection and learning. It offers an opportunity to strengthen self-esteem, reaffirm one's values and priorities, and understand better the type of relationship that positively contributes to life's journey. Therefore, it's essential to be aware of the signs of a toxic relationship and have the courage to seek change when necessary. The pursuit of inner well-being and personal growth should be a priority in our lives, and the relationships we cultivate play a crucial role in this process. Number 5, when destructive emotions dominate the relationship, it's helpful to reflect on the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, a key figure in Stoicism. He teaches you have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This reminds us of the importance of controlling our thoughts and emotions, especially in relationships filled with negative feelings like anger, jealousy, or resentment. These destructive emotions, when recurring and dominating, can distance us from our inner strength. They trap us in a cycle of reactions and automatic responses to situations often beyond our control. Although anger, jealousy, and resentment are natural human emotions, they can divert us from self-control and tranquility. The challenge is recognizing these emotions and understanding that our response to them is within our control. As Marcus Aurelius teaches, while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond. This requires continuous self-analysis and self-mastery, crucial for maintaining mental and emotional health in challenging relationships. When we realize that a relationship consistently leads us to negative emotional states, it's vital to assess its dynamics. We must question whether the relationship contributes positively to our well-being and growth, or keeps us trapped in constant emotional turmoil. Ultimately, when faced with destructive emotions in our relationships, we need to draw upon the inner strength Marcus Aurelius speaks of. This involves practicing patience, understanding, and empathy, while also setting healthy boundaries and, if necessary, distancing ourselves from relationships that hinder our emotional and intellectual potential. It's a journey of self-discovery and personal empowerment where we learn to value relationships that uplift us and distance ourselves from those that diminish us. Number 6. If you are compromising your values, living in harmony with one's values is a central tenet of Stoicism and a cornerstone for a fulfilling and meaningful life. When we encounter relationships that force us to compromise or betray our core values, it sparks a crucial dilemma, demanding thoughtful reflection and reassessment. Personal values act as an internal compass, guiding our decisions, actions, and interactions. They reflect our deepest beliefs and what we hold important and true. In relationships that demand we abandon or neglect these values, our personal integrity is jeopardized, leading to dissatisfaction and discomfort. Such relationships, which pressure us to act against our principles, tolerate unacceptable behaviors, or sacrifice key aspects of our identity, may seem insignificant at first. However, over time, these concessions accumulate, impacting our self-esteem and self-respect. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of living in accord with our values. This requires the courage to make difficult choices, distance ourselves from situations diverting us from our path, and seek relationships that honor and reflect our fundamental principles. Reassessing a relationship based on its alignment with our values is challenging and may entail internal conflicts, loyalty dilemmas, fear of loneliness, or resistance to change. Nevertheless, staying true to our values is imperative for mental and emotional well-being, signifying self-respect and authenticity. Therefore, it is essential to remain aware of how our relationships influence and reflect our values. Recognizing when we compromise our core values prompts serious consideration of whether the relationship contributes to personal growth and well-being. Choosing paths aligned with our values not only embodies a Stoic principle, but also represents a crucial stride toward leading a genuinely authentic and fulfilling life. Number 7. When the relationship prevents acceptance of reality, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of accepting reality, and this principle extends to our interpersonal relationships. Relationships that tie us to illusions or encourage denial of reality can be counterproductive and harmful. In Stoic teachings, accepting reality doesn't mean being passive or resigned. Instead, it involves having a clear and objective understanding of the world as it is, free from false expectations or idealizations. Applying this Stoic principle to our relationships highlights that maintaining connections based on illusions or denial prevents us from living authentically and truthfully. Relationships that prompt us to ignore the truth, whether through fantasies, constant excuses for unacceptable behavior, or the creation of an alternative reality, detach us from a genuine understanding of ourselves and others. This detachment from reality can lead to ignoring serious issues, making decisions based on distorted perceptions, and living in a constant state of disillusionment. Such relationships may exhibit unfulfilled promises, unrealistic expectations, or a refusal to acknowledge obvious problems. These situations create frustration and dissatisfaction because we are consistently seeking something that isn't aligned with reality. Confronting the truth in a relationship can be challenging, especially when it involves dismantling illusions to which we are attached. However, it is a necessary step for personal development and for building healthier, more realistic relationships. The Stoics encourage us to embrace reality, deal with situations as they are, and seek serenity within that understanding. Therefore, it's crucial to be aware of the signs indicating that a relationship is more based on illusion than reality. Recognizing and distancing ourselves from such dynamics enables us to rediscover our path to a more authentic and satisfying life, aligning with Stoic principles of acceptance and a clear understanding of reality. Number 8. When communication consistently fails. Effective communication is a crucial pillar in any thriving relationship. When communication consistently falters, whether it's one-sided or persistently filled with conflict, a significant obstacle to harmony and mutual understanding emerges. This issue is also emphasized by Stoic philosophy. In relationships with deficient communication, misunderstandings, frustrations, and resentments often take root. According to the Stoic view, an imbalance arises in one-sided communication, where one party dominates the conversation or stifles the other from expressing themselves. Similarly, communication marked by constant conflicts and an inability to find common ground can be draining. The Stoics advocate for harmony and balance, both internally and in relationships. They champion the idea that understanding and peaceful dialogue should be sought, unnecessary conflicts avoided, and an environment of mutual respect promoted. To enhance communication in a relationship, it is crucial to practice active listening, express oneself clearly and respectfully, and be open to dialogue while understanding the other person's perspective. This involves openly discussing problems, sharing feelings and needs, and collaboratively working towards constructive solutions. In cases where communication consistently fails and efforts to improve are unsuccessful, reassessing the relationship may be necessary. Seeking professional help, such as a couple's therapist or counselor, can be beneficial in overcoming communication barriers. Therefore, maintaining healthy and effective communication is foundational to the health and longevity of any relationship. This is crucial for individual well-being and pivotal in building harmonious and enriching relationships, aligning with Stoic teachings of balance and mutual understanding. Number 9. If there is any form of abuse, it is completely unacceptable within any relationship. Stoic wisdom, emphasizing self-respect and dignity, directs us to never tolerate abusive or harmful behaviors. Abuse can manifest in various ways: physical, emotional, verbal, psychological, or financial. Regardless of its form, abuse profoundly and adversely affects the mental, physical, and emotional health of the victim. Abusive relationships exhibit patterns of control, intimidation, isolation, and fear. Stoic philosophy teaches us to value and respect ourselves, recognizing our intrinsic worth and refusing to accept treatment that compromises our integrity or well-being. Being in an abusive relationship means being in an environment that consistently devalues and dehumanizes, a scenario starkly contradictory to what the Stoics would consider a virtuous and dignified life. Recognizing that you are in an abusive relationship is the first crucial step in seeking help and initiating change. It is imperative to understand that abuse is never justifiable, and the responsibility for the abuse lies entirely with the abuser, not the victim. Seeking support from friends, family, or professionals is essential to extricate oneself from this situation. Leaving an abusive relationship is undoubtedly challenging, demanding courage and support, yet it is a vital step toward reclaiming self-esteem, self-respect, and freedom. The journey of recovery from an abusive relationship is not just about healing but also about reaffirming one's worth and strength. Therefore, being aware of the signs of abuse and taking immediate steps to protect oneself aligns with Stoic teachings of self-worth and self-respect. Living a dignified and respectful life free from abuse is a fundamental right for everyone. Number 10. If the relationship disrupts your tranquility, attaining serenity and inner tranquility is a fundamental pursuit in Stoic philosophy, essential for a fulfilling and balanced life. When we find ourselves entangled in relationships that consistently disrupt our inner peace, it signals a need to scrutinize these relationships and, if necessary, reevaluate or terminate them. Relationships that perpetuate internal turbulence through constant conflicts, anxiety, stress, or insecurity are incompatible with the Stoic principle of seeking serenity. Stoic philosophy guides us to value emotional balance and uphold inner calm, even in the face of challenging external circumstances. A relationship that serves as a perpetual source of disturbance obstructs the cultivation of this serenity, leading to a chronic state of emotional discomfort. This not only affects our mental health, but also diminishes our capacity to enjoy life and engage in meaningful activities. In this context, it is crucial to assess the impact of the relationship on our well-being. This involves reflecting on how the relationship emotionally affects us, identifying patterns of unresolved negativity, and determining if efforts to improve the relationship dynamics have proven futile. The decision to end a relationship is never easy, especially when deep feelings are involved. However, Stoic philosophy encourages us to make decisions aligned with our well-being and inner peace, which may entail distancing ourselves from relationships that undermine our tranquility. It's essential to recognize that seeking serenity is not an act of selfishness, but a vital step for self-preservation and living in accordance with our higher principles. Therefore, when faced with relationships that continually disrupt our tranquility, we should summon the courage to make difficult choices, always striving for a state of inner peace and balance. Reflecting on the wisdom of Epictetus, who stated that the first and greatest victory is to conquer oneself, we understand that the end of a relationship is not a failure, but a courageous step toward authenticity and personal wisdom. This challenging journey presents an opportunity for growth and reaffirmation of our highest values and principles. Number 11. When the relationship is not reciprocal, reciprocity is crucial for the health and sustainability of any relationship. An imbalance where one party consistently gives while the other perpetually receives creates an environment of inequality that is harmful and unsustainable in the long run. In balanced relationships, both parties contribute and receive in a fair and equitable manner. While this exchange need not always be immediate or precise, there should be an overarching sense of mutuality and support. When one side consistently assumes the role of the giver, leaving the other as the perpetual receiver, an unequal dynamic takes root, fostering feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and devaluation. This one-sided relationship can manifest emotionally, where one person consistently provides support while the other seldom reciprocates, or practically, in daily tasks or important decision-making. As the imbalance becomes the norm, the relationship transforms from a partnership into a burden for one of the parties. Recognizing the signs of a non-reciprocal relationship is pivotal. Addressing the issue may involve open conversations about needs and expectations, redefining boundaries and responsibilities, and in some instances, reconsidering the long-term viability of the relationship. Within this context, it's crucial to remember that self-respect and self-esteem are also at risk. Consistently being in a position of giving without receiving due value and consideration can erode one's perception of self-worth. Seeking balance in a relationship is not merely a matter of fairness, but also an act of self-care. To maintain healthy and enriching relationships, seeking reciprocity is paramount. Balanced relationships foster mutual growth, respect, and satisfaction for both parties. These are the relationships we should aspire to cultivate in our lives, promoting our well-being and that of those with whom we connect. Keep in mind that each choice we make, particularly those steering us away from situations that cause harm, represents an act of courage and deep self-respect. Embracing this Stoic journey serves not only to protect our well-being, but also to usher us into a more virtuous and fulfilling life.